Good evening, folks. Welcome to another episode of the Weekly Tangent, Weekly Factor. God, how could I say Weekly Tangent? I haven't done that show for 3-4 years. The Weekly Factor. I'm your host, Greg, and you are spending your evening here with me. So we're going to take a look at some new games. Well, not new games. I mean, games that we talk about all the time, but there's a couple new games here. And we're going to cover over those in this episode. Plus, we're going to revisit some old friends like Mortal Kombat 1, which you were just maybe watching that video as you were brought in here. Maybe you didn't see it, the premiere. I was trying something different, but some people, I don't know, may care or not. I'm just testing around, see what makes sense, see if it is worth doing those previous to or prior to the Weekly Factor going live, or just kind of sticking with like early mornings or random times throughout the day as it has been for the past few weeks. I don't know. We'll see. But those games always do well. I mean, everybody always wants to know how Mortal Kombat 1 is doing. I figured we're going to cover that today on the live. Nice collection behind you. Yeah. Hey, man, don't brag. Yeah, I've got all sorts of stuff behind me. This is my studio and kind of like reselling inventory and all sorts of stuff, right? Do anything to make a living and to get by. So yeah, I've got some stuff that I've acquired that I sell. There's a whole stack of stuff that I bought that needs to be just kind of redone, put out there. I don't know, all sorts of stuff. I appreciate that though. Thank you for stopping in. And appreciate you checking out the channel and the live stream. It's always interesting to see new folks drop in, say hello. Always happy to see you. Let's take a look at what was voted on before we get into anything. We'll talk about the agenda, and then we'll go into the rest of the show stuff. So let's take a look on the Steam Deck. So on the Steam Deck, well, this is for both the Steam Deck and the Legion Go. These are the games that were voted on by you, the viewer. Everything is basically driven by the community. Times are getting harder, not easier. Yeah, man, it's kind of crazy. It's definitely been getting a little bit tighter for a lot of folks. I feel that, and I hate to hear it. I know for me, went through, I worked in the games industry and went through a layoff last year and started with a company, didn't like it, and left them after about 6 months. So decided to go out on my own. So yeah, YouTube is not the job. YouTube is the hobby that pays for the video games that I play. But otherwise, I enjoy doing this a lot, but do other stuff. You have the Asus ROG. Oh, very nice. Are you looking at the Ally X? I know that's coming in July. It's not like everybody wants to go upgrade already like 2 years later or less than 2 years later. But I saw that that's going to come up, and I'm trying to gather funds together through some of the reselling stuff to pick that up for the channel so we can show stuff on the Ally X, which I like the ROG Ally. It was a nice device. But back to the voting. So every day I run a poll on the channel. Everybody that's subscribed gets notified automatically, but otherwise you can just vote on it anyhow. You don't have to be subscribed. You go in, you drop a vote in for one of the 4 games, Monday through Friday, and that basically gives us 5 games for the show today that everybody's voted on, wanting to see, and then I myself get to pick, the 6th one. And I'm going to talk about that one because that one harkens back to when I was working in the games industry earlier this year again. And I was down at GDC. I spoke to a developer and their game's coming out. So we'll take a look at this and talk about it. Silk Air, welcome. Where's the voting again? The voting happens on youtube.com/Factor of Games every day. It's been getting later because I've been working so much in my job. I tend to get really busy painting, doing drywall, tearing down walls, whatever it is. And I try to put it up at noon every day. At one point last week, because I had a 24-hour kind of, or this past week, sorry, that was the week before. This past week, it seemed to go out about 6 p.m. every day because I was just painting studios and I don't think about it when I'm doing stuff like that. And then I did it at like 3, and I was trying to bring it up so it'd be done with it like by 3 o'clock today, which ultimately it ended up that way. But yeah, it's like usually around noon. I'm going to try to get better at that, but I do it every day. So over there. You're going to keep your Z Extreme until it doesn't do the job. That's a good idea. You know, I don't blame you, man. Don't brag. That's that actually makes a lot of sense because I have the Legion Go here. That's the same Z1 Extreme, and I wouldn't really worry if I wasn't doing it for the show, right? And kind of walking through, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with that one. I would probably just stick with like the Z1 Extreme as well because I think they do a good job. And Silk Air, yeah, man, of course. Thank you for stopping in as always. Appreciate you over there on Twitch and everybody else that's watching over there. I don't know if there is anybody right now, but all the folks that do pop in, appreciate everybody for stopping by. So these are the votes that these are the games that were voted on this week. So Little Nightmares 2, this game was on sale this week. This is kind of like a little, it's kind of, I don't know what you would say, soft horror. It's not really scary, but it's got a tinge to it. You know what I mean? You switched over to Twitch. Oh, okay. Because I remember, oh, you switched over, man. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. I remember Silk Air, I think originally started chatting on YouTube and then jumped over there. So I thought that was you as well. You guys are over there right now. Yeah, either way, man, I don't care where anybody watches. I appreciate you just checking it out. The other games that were voted on, don't mind some of these because I've been doing some testing, was Bodycam. This is another one. So Bodycam, if you don't remember this one, this was the one that came out that was like super realistic. Like everybody was questioning if it was actually game or camera footage of somebody like chasing someone through a building. This is the game's finally come out. We're going to take a look at that on one device. On the Steam Deck, it does not run. I tried to get it to run. It does not run. So we are going to take a look at it. Hopefully on the Legion Go, it plays fine. I didn't have a chance to check it out. But if we really want to see it tonight, well, I don't even have it on my big gaming PC here. I don't know. We're going to have to figure that out. I believe it'll run on Legion Go, at least somewhat. But that's another one that was voted on. Mortal Kombat 1 was voted on, which if you just, like I said, if you came over from the premiere, Mortal Kombat 1 is, we're going to take a look at that direct capture, kind of with all the updates. The game runs much better now. On the Z1 device, I have to imagine this locks at 60. On the Steam Deck, it does not do that. It's just shy of being 60 frames per second. It's like between 50 and 60, where it used to be like between 30 and 40. It's gotten much better now. And then Kingdom Hearts 3, this just came out as a compilation. Square Enix just dropped this to PC. So everybody wanted, I put all 3 of them up, plus another game, Harvestella, I think it was. And the one that got the highest votes was Kingdom Hearts 3. So we're going to take a look at that. Then we're going to take a look at one more. Wait, no, how many was that? That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Where's our fourth one? What was our fourth one? I know I've got it. It's just weird that it's not listed here, or it's not in the front list, because I know that I had added a bunch of games because they were sent over, but I also thought I had all of them up on the front page. Give me one sec. This is horrible. I can't remember. Oh, Venatrix. It is here, right? Venatrix is the other game. Where's that one? Venatrix is kind of like I wouldn't call it survival horror. It's here in this device somewhere. Give me one second. I will find it. Venatrix. Oh, there it is, right there. So Venatrix is kind of like it's not survival horror. I don't know what it is. It reminds me of survival horror, but in a way, just the movement, right? Like the camera angles and stuff. What it truly reminds me of is Sherlock Holmes series, which is not really horror at all, but it does have shooting in it, so it can't be like that either. It's a weird combination. The developer, I think, launched this a couple months ago, and I don't know if it's done really all that well. But this one, folks wanted to voted on, wanted to see it. It was up against like Dave the Diver, Dredge, and Cooking Simulator Sushis. I don't know if you can put all those together, but Venatrix is based on Lovecraft. It's part of the Lovecraft, what would you call it? Like stories. It's not even a story. It's like part of the world, right? The universe of Lovecraft. And of course, Dredge is part of the universe of Lovecraft, and Dredge is in the water, and Dredge has a tie into Dave the Diver as a DLC, and Dave the Diver hunts sushi, so that's why there was Cooking Simulator Sushi. So that's how I tie things together in these votes. I don't know if people care or if they think that's interesting, but my mind works in that way. And then the game that I chose, and I will get back to chat in a second here, sorry. Just want to get through this so we can knock it out. The game that I chose is from that developer I'd met at GDC, who I had asked the question of like, hey, when you're developing your game SCHIM, that's the game, are you thinking about like these types of devices like the Steam Deck or the Legion Go or the ROG Ally or blah, blah, blah. And he's like, no, we just didn't even think about those. So it's interesting to see how well it runs on these devices. And, you know, that's mainly a indie developer mentality, is like, hey, I'm getting my game to market. I'll worry about the rest after I get to market, unless there's a specific reason. So SCHIM is going to be the game we're going to take a look at. And I ended up getting this directly from him. I'd given him my card when we were down there. And I said, if you get your game ready to go, or if you got it, send it over. We'll take a look at it on the channel. So that's what we're going to do. It's a play test right now. I think there is a demo still because the Steam Next Fest is still going on. So you might be able to find it. I don't even know if I put the links in this week into the descriptions. I might have missed that. I might have been running because I had to go do 2 hours. Somebody had a leaking window and it was pouring rain here in the Seattle area. So I had to go fix that. And then I got back just about an hour, maybe a half hour before the show. So I had to throw everything together. But let me go through and catch up on chat. I apologize. I was wanting to get through every little thing here on that stuff. Oh yeah, dude. Doom the Dark Ages. I think that's amazing. I've heard people like don't like it because their opinion is it's not Doom, because Doom's on Mars, I guess, fighting demons instead of time traveling and going back into the Dark Ages. I don't know. I thought it was pretty cool. Medieval Doom. I'm all for that. That's one that I'm looking forward to. Did you see the Xbox showcase? I don't know if that was to me, man, don't brag, but yes, I did get a chance to see that. And I liked some of the stuff they were showing. I think that's really kind of cool. Is Bodycam focused for VR? No, it is not. Funny enough. It's beefy. It is, I think we looked at just the bare minimum and you got to have a 3060. So or maybe it might've been a 2080 bare minimum, but like recommended was a 3060. So pretty tough for VR to pull that off, and make it look good and not make everybody sick. So no, it doesn't even support VR as far as I know. Let me make sure. Nice collection. Oh, I'm going down the wrong way. Whoops. We're excited for the Metal Gear Solid remake. Yeah, that one actually looks really good. I'm excited for that. I'm excited for anything Metal Gear because, you know, David Hayter's voice just it gives you the tingles. Everybody, it's like ASMR, I guess, for people that like video games. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why people are hating on things. It's kind of crazy. I don't know. Maybe it's just because there wasn't enough games launching this. I mean, you can see there's a ton of games. These are all games that launched. Like if you look here, Multiverse is launched. There's been a bunch of tables going for that Pinball M. I don't know if a lot of people like Pinball or Pinball M and Pinball FX. You had the whole Next Fest thing running. Sunnyside just launched, which we're not going to take a look at today. Bodycam launched. Oh man, I don't even know. All of the Kingdom Hearts games. Excuse me. I ended up getting a cold too. There's been a ton of games, just not like big known games that we're launching. So I don't know. People have been all over the place. But no real news this week. I mean, there's obviously a bunch of news coming out, but nothing that I've been able to keep up on. It's just my own issue, right? Moving Out 2 recently released. Yep. I liked Moving Out. Moving Out was really fun. There's another one. What was it? Somebody sent me a code that the code wasn't good. And they need to wait until they got more Steam keys. One of the services like Lurkit or something like that. And it was Ship Out or Ship It or something like that. What was that called? Hold on. Let me check. I'm just curious what it was called. It's another one of those like moving out style or cooking. The one what's the cooking one? I can't think of it off the top of my head. Like the co-op type games. What was that one? Starlink's running slow. I'm hoping it's not going to affect the stream. Ready, Steady, Ship. That's another one kind of like moving out. So that one's about like shipping stuff and you're shipping it on like a boat and the boat's moving, right? And like you're boxing stuff up. I don't know. It's got conveyor belts. It looks pretty funny, right? Like it's just like all of those. Unpacking is a cute game. Yeah, that's a Humble Bundle game. They're a partner of the channel. They're Humble Games. They're good folks. I like them. But yeah, that one's really fun. I like Unpacking. It's kind of like one of those relaxing ones. There was another one that was made very similar to it about like setting up a gaming room. I don't know if you've seen that one. It's on Steam, I think. I don't know which one it is, but it's out there. Let's see. I think we can go ahead and jump in. Do we want to start with Mortal Kombat 1 since we left off? Might as well, right? Like, let's just start with Mortal Kombat 1 since that was the premiere, and we'll take a look at the game just kind of on the running direct feed. So let's start with it on the Steam Deck, and then we'll take a look at it on the Legion Go. And I think it's going to be about 60 frames per second on the Legion Go, if it's as optimized as it is on the Steam Deck. All right. Yeah. Sorry. I had to blow my nose. The cold's gotten to me. It's mainly like a cough. I don't know. One of those things. But anyhow, it does take a little bit of time to start up. I think it's some shader optimization, stuff like that. I don't know how much they've been updating it outside of the character packs, but or the new characters coming through. But this is the first time I've tried it probably since, well before Homelander came out. I think, what's the other dude that John Cena plays? Captain something or other. I don't know. Oh, colds are coming around. Yeah, so okay. I don't know, man. It's crazy. It was just like out of nowhere. Like I think it was Monday and Tuesday I painted. And I thought, well, maybe it's the paint fumes. I don't know if it's something like that. I've never had it, but maybe it was something to that nature. But then you can kind of tell, like, no, it's actually a cold. Like I had the chills one night and I went to sleep. I was able to get up just fine, went to work and stuff like that. Like it wasn't a true like knock down them out, but it's kind of the remnants of it. It's kind of bothering me, like just trying to talk and cough kind of thing. Now I've had this before where Mortal Kombat freezes on launch. This is not anything, you don't have to use any special proton, but I have had it to where it would freeze when it tries to launch. So let's reboot that again. Might have to reboot the device if it doesn't launch this time. Usually it will like the second time you launch it, it'll be just fine. But you can tell kind of like all of the metrics that are at the top of the screen, they all stop. Okay, now it's fine. Yep. You bought an Ally because the GPU fan stopped working on the laptop. Yeah, that'll do it right there. Micro Center, 400 miles. My God. Yeah. I mean, on a laptop, all of those parts usually are really tough and delicate, right? I've done some work on laptops. I've done some work, well, just very limited work on the Steam Decks and the Legion Go's, like changing out the, you know, the hard drive where you got to tear it apart, and just seeing like the fans and stuff like that. I mean, they definitely would be considered laptop style parts. They're super tiny. I forget the last laptop I tried to work on. It was a work one or something like that from one of the jobs. Like, because we always worked remote, they would send you the stuff and they were like, go ahead and try it. And if it didn't work, then they'd just send you a new laptop. So mostly nobody ever made it work if they didn't. But I tried, and I think it was the fan or something like that. It worked fine for a little bit, but then it died again. So I don't know if they were just buying cheap parts or whatever it was. Yeah, well, I mean, as long as you don't like overheat it, right? Gaming would for sure. I agree with it. I think it'd still be fine. I wouldn't try messing with it if you've got a ROG Ally then. You know what I mean? Like, once you've got that, you're going to have a pretty good experience for gaming. And it's easier to hold and play and take with you. So I'm all behind you on that one. I wouldn't try and mess with it either. Okay, let's just jump in. So now we are direct capturing from the device. So we're going to be at 720p right now, but we're not even going to be able to play most likely at 720p. We're probably going to see this be more along the lines of like 450 to by 250 resolution, something like that. That's how upscaled this is going to be. Just because the game, like I said, it's not as polished, or in my opinion, as well designed as the Mortal Kombat 11 was. Mortal Kombat 11 looks amazing, and it can run 1280 by 800 on these devices at 60 frames per second. So, I don't know. But they are getting this there, right? So, like, if we go in and look at this, we take a look at it, we are set at 1280 by 720. We're going to essentially knock this thing up to 60. And let's put everything to low. And then let's put it on FSR 2.0. Or, sorry, 2. Sorry. Yeah, they don't have 3, so they don't have frame generation. That was asked in the premiere I saw before I jumped online for the stream. It doesn't have that, and truthfully, you've got to drop it down to ultra performance. So you can see what our rendering resolution actually is. It's 427 by 240. So it's pretty low. Let's take a look at what that... It's going to look worse on direct capture than it is on the device's screen. I will say that. But let's just benchmark it here. Again, we're plugged in. We got power. So we're going to get the max, you know, power watt consumption that the device can pull off. Like, I think that's 30 watts for these, where I think the Z1 Extremes can go to 35 watts, if I remember correctly. So let's give it a try. When I do the real view video, the one that was in Premiere, that was just on battery. So we may see slightly better, maybe a frame or two better. So let's jump in, do the benchmark, and just kind of get a baseline. And we'll play a match or two. We won't be able to play online because that'll knock the stream offline. But in the Mortal Kombat video in the Premiere that's now available on the channel, where it's comparing between the OLED and the LCD, I do show online play on the OLED. And it was roughly about 50 frames per second online. Now, again, direct capture, I think this looks really bad because you can see how pixelated it is, like when there's movement, like the ropes, the ice when they shoot at the flames. You can kind of see it Like almost like a PS1 game in a way. I averaged about 49 frames per second. I think on battery it was 44 or 45 frames per second. So I don't know. Let's get into a match. We'll see what that does. I'd love to see it get to 60 more often than it is at 50. But I don't know if that's possible. So let's jump into just versus. Let's just do that. We'll do a round with I think I'll do Scorpion. He's just my go-to. And then we'll throw like Homelander or somebody up against them. FSR really stands out to me in direct capture. Like anytime there's hair or edges of like feathers or things like that, you can just really see it pixelating because of the rendering resolution being so low. Let's see. Let's go with Scorpion. And then let's go with Peacemaker's the guy, the John Cena guy. I couldn't remember his name. Let's go with Homelander. Whoops. Up. Let's go with Homelander, not Shang Tsung. There we go. I think these are just... I'm not sure if Chameleon... I don't think she's new, but... Jill, maybe? Jill Cage? I don't know. We'll just pick them.
Janet Cage.
And then let's go with... let's just go with a pretty basic background. They're not like super basic, but... Let's go with something... how about this one? This gateway.
It'd be a shame if something happened to your wife. And a fatal error for the one who might try it.
So I think most of the cutscenes, anything like that, usually do stick into the 30 frames per second area. Okay, so we're seeing 58, 59. 54, 58. We're seeing, I don't know, to me it looks like it's definitely more often closer to 60 than it is closer to 50. So, while, again, the pixelation kind of looks super ugly, it's not, I mean, if you had this game and you're like, well, I want to be able to play it on vacation, you could take it with you and you'd be close to 60. It's far better than it was when it first launched. Oh. I can't do my move though. See if we can do one of the big ones. Okay, not too bad. Yeah, it really seems, I don't know, even though it said it was like, what, 49 frames per second on the benchmark, I don't know if that takes into account what goes on online, you know, and maybe they simulate like online connections, but this definitely seems way better than 49 frames per second, but it could be the, you know, the stage. So we'll try it on the stage that they use in the benchmark. And see, oh, see what that does. Oh, jeez. Here we go. He doesn't move too much. It doesn't like come in. I guess it's the CPU. I probably have it on easy. Like he's definitely not coming towards me too often. Oh, he got me. That's kind of cool. He flies a lot. Guess he is a superhero, though. Come on. This pad is not... I should be using the fight stick. Okay. He got me. Let's go ahead and try the same stage that... Was he drinking milk? I've never watched them. I never watched the... What is it? The Boys? Tekken or Mortal Kombat? Yeah, I always will go with Mortal Kombat. I like Tekken, though. I do. I have that on here. I'm getting ready to do a comparison video for Tekken 8. But, yeah, for me, you know, I was, I think, 18 when Mortal Monday happened. And instantly, my headset just died. I won't be able to hear the game sounds for now until I charge it. But I think we're okay, though, on audio. I still see my audio moving. I don't know. Mortal Monday happened when I was 18, and I was at the arcade. I think I drove 30 miles to get there and just sat there all day and played and, you know, really enjoyed the game. So I kind of stuck with Mortal Kombat. I played every one of them, I think. I'm not really good at it. I just enjoy them. I like the story. I think they're kind of funny, especially in the last three. They've been pretty good. Even this one's story was pretty good. Let's do... We'll do the same characters. And let's pick that one that they use. I think it's... The Wushu Academy is the one they use in the... In the... What do you call it? The benchmark. How about you, Silker? Mortal Kombat or Tekken? Or Soul Calibur? Or, you know, any of the other Street Fighter? Anything. Alright, let's... Oh, jeez. So, let's see. 59... 53. Okay, there it's down below. So maybe it is more the stage-based stuff. That would make sense, right? Like, if they're using more of the RAM for the like the leaves to move and stuff like that in the background. I'm trying to look at, like, the CPU usage is pretty low in comparison. The GPU usage is actually pretty... Ooh. I think it's overheated there for a second. That's usually when it goes down to, like, super low frame rate really fast is when the device is overheating. I don't know why, though. There's a bunch of games where it shouldn't overheat like this. Oop. I haven't been playing. I've been watching more than others. See if we can't beat him down a little bit. Low blow. Man. I won't use the table yet. There we go. We'll get him next time. We'll get him on the fatal next time. Final round. Fight. If he gets me that low. Yeah, but like I said, 50. Oh, there she is. Yep, she's right. It's not 60, that's for sure. And online, like I said, it would be about 5 frames per second less is what I noticed when I was testing it. There we go. He's got me down far enough he doesn't kill me. He killed me. Ah, I was gonna do the was he gonna do a fatality? Nope. CPU really never does a fatality. Okay, so okay, you gotta go. Night Silker. Talk to you later. Thank you for stopping in. Let's jump over to the Legion Go. And then we'll test that one for Mortal Kombat. And we'll see what that Z1 Extreme can do here. So let me quit out. And let's just pop over here. There we go. Now, I need to probably repair my controller. I've been moving my Bluetooth controller around a little bit, so give me 1 sec. I was trying to figure out a way that I can have one controller control 2 devices at once. I don't think it's a possibility. I was kind of hoping it was. I don't think it's a possibility. Oh no, it's connected now. Okay. Did it connect? Yes, it did. Okay, let's jump in. I would love that because that would make those videos where I do the comparison so much easier. But I haven't found a solution yet. I'm sure there's got to be something. Okay, this one, let's enable the Steam input. There we go. And of course, this is Windows. We don't have to do anything special. Now, in terms of power, I have it set to 1920 by 1200. So we may actually bump that down, but let's just see what it does with that. It should be okay. It should actually be able to do 60 frames on low with that. We've got on performance 30 watts, so full power, and then OS power mode on performance. So let's hope that it gives us enough. Like I said, I think it might be able to do 1080p at 60 frames per second. It might only be able to do it for a little bit. If you really wanted to lock it in, 1200 or 1280 by 800, and I think it would do it. So if it does 1080p close to 60, I would think the ROG Ally would at the same, be similar performance. So if you were to drop it down to 800p, it would be 60 frames per second. That's my guess. Looks like it's locked up right now, so hold on. What is going on here? Yeah, for some reason it decided to, I think, lock up on us. Or it's trying to run two. Oh, wait, it's running in the background. That's what it is. I bet that's what it is. Steam does this. It's, it's really what it is. It's really more of the OS, right? So there's Mortal Kombat right there. But it isn't launching either, so it may not be that. It's hard to say. Let's try just restarting it. Let's just close it out. Let's close out Legion space. That's never helped anybody, I don't think. I don't know what it's doing. It's not letting me abort either. Yeah, it's kind of just stuck. See if we can't force close it. We may have to restart the whole device. Because this is being stubborn for whatever reason. I don't know why. Can we force? Oop. Man, it is all over the place. There we go. In task. Okay, now it's done. All right, let's hope that it'll actually launch. Now, from my knowledge, it would be better to not launch it using big picture mode on Windows. For whatever reason, Steam's big picture mode uses a little bit too much. So let's try just launching it directly from the desktop client. There we go. I mean, there's no reason to really go into big picture mode. I do it just out of habit, but you do have that, just like on the, you have your touch screen, and then you also have the little track pads, so you could just kind of launch it from the desktop mode, just like you could on ROG Ally. I know it doesn't have the thumb pad, but it would, you could use the touchscreen to at least do that. Hopefully it doesn't take forever for the shaders to prepare. %, 15. It may take a minute, but yeah, the ROG Ally X. I know we were talking about it a little bit previous to this jumping in, but that one I'm curious to see how well it performs. It's still a Z. It's still a Z AMD Z product, so they chose not to go with Intel, which is something interesting to note. I haven't seen too many people jumping on that Intel chipset bandwagon. Everybody thinks that, or seems to believe AMD's the better choice, which I would agree. I think AMD is doing very well. I'd love to see NVIDIA get in the game, but in terms of like these low power devices running on batteries, I think AMD's far ahead of everybody else right now. You got to have competitors though. So hopefully Intel will get their stuff together and we'll see a little bit better device. But the ROG Ally X, I think that launches July 22nd. Trying to be able to kind of get everything together to have a device so we can start doing some testing, kind of put it up against the Legion Go, put it up against the Steam Deck LCD, and kind of see where that performance is. I always liked the original ROG Ally, but when the Legion Go came out, I thought, let's get something that's got some different capabilities in terms of like a Windows machine. So it has like the removable controllers, it has that FPS mode, it has the larger screen, and let's have that be the competitor. And we'll wait and see what ROG does, Republic of Gamers does for their next version, and grab that. So hopefully that X is going to be interesting. I don't know though. It's pretty close to like, it does have more RAM, but overall it's so close in terms of time frame. I think if you watch the channel, if you've checked out my videos, the live streams and stuff like that for the past two or so years, you may have heard me talk about like the reason why I believe in Valve doing this more than I believe in like Lenovo or Asus or anybody else is because Valve actually makes tons of money off of selling games. Legion Go or Lenovo, Asus, those guys are just hardware people. They don't make a ton of money on these. So their business, their best choice of business is to bring a new version out every year or two. And the kind of the ROG Ally to the ROG Ally X being such a short span of time, maybe 18 months or less, kind of proves that, right? It's just, that's their mentality. That's how an OEM builds products, because they don't provide any other service other than the product. Now you could argue and say like, well, there's the Legion space and there's the ROG Crate service, but none of those really compare to Steam. Steam is a back-end solution for distribution of games. Just like as much as I don't like Epic Game Store in terms of their business practices, Epic Game Store is a back-end solution like Valve, Steam, right? So forth, like that. So hardware guys just have hardware, and they're going to, the only way they're going to make money is make more hardware with new slight upgrades or updates. And that becomes concerning, right? In that sense. If you knew of Steam back in 2000-ish timeframes, 2010, 2011, I forget when it was exactly, they made Steam machines for in your house. Well, they made Steam machines. They called them Steam machines, but they didn't make the products. They just made the OS. And that's basically what the Steam Deck runs off of, is Steam OS, which was what they were building for these Steam machines about a decade ago. The problem was they gave that to hardware manufacturers like HP. I forget who the other ones were. Alienware at the time, before HP, I think, had acquired them. There was a couple of other companies. And the problem with that is that hardware manufacturers, again, they don't care about the OS. They care about the hardware because that's where they make the money. And, you know, they kind of screwed that business up for Steam. Otherwise, today you probably would have had, if that would have never happened, if Valve would have taken the same, and they had the ability and the knowledge and did the exact same thing with the Steam Deck, they probably would be, you know, the Valve Steam Machine, the Xbox Series X, and the PlayStation 5 and Nintendo Switch. That would have been your console manufacturers. But it didn't work out that way. Now the Steam Deck is on that path. But yeah, they kind of missed about a decade because of bad decisions going with OEMs to build products only for them. Because again, an OEM does nothing more than just make a product that is easily replaceable by the next product. It comes out the same year from the same OEM the next year. You know what I mean? Let's see. I need this controller. Okay, so Legion Go, direct capture at 1080p. But let's go down here and change some of the settings here. So graphics wise, we're going to leave it at 1080p, but although it kind of seems like, well, you're just, why even worry about 1080p? We're going to run FSR 2 on ultra performance. So that's 640 by 360 on this device. So it's going to look better direct capture regardless than what we were getting at the 472 by 240 resolution on the Steam Deck. But it's still like well below, you know, kind of like your 1080p. It's just rendering up to that. So let's take a look at the benchmark first, like we did. And we'll only do 1 or 2 matches on this one as well. And then we'll get on to the next games. It's just, this is probably the biggest of the games that we're going to look at tonight. I don't know. Interest-wise, there may be other games, but in terms of like big games, Mortal Kombat's probably the biggest one out of tonight's list. And to look for the frames per second, look down in the left-hand corner. The counter, the one from Legion Go, does not work any longer for whatever reason. So right now, we've seen it bounce around like 55, 57, 60. And again, it does look better, although FSR 2 puts those like artifacts around hair and ropes and feathers and fire and stuff like that. It's more noticeable. It doesn't look as bad because, again, the rendering resolution is actually higher than what it was on the Steam Deck. So here, we're getting 55 frames per second. So where we got 49 on the Steam Deck, we're getting 55 on the Z1. So we're most likely, when we're doing these matches locally, we're going to be at 60 frames per second at 1080p. 1080p without the rendering resolution, with rendering resolution. Okay, let's jump in and take a look at local. And we'll do kind of the same lineup. We'll do Scorpion versus Homelander, and then we'll do Scorpion versus Peacemaker, and we'll pick the same 2 stages so we can kind of do a comparison. So let's go Scorpion. And then let's go Homelander. Pick our Cage and, was it Venom? I can't remember her name. And then we'll choose, I think it was this stage.
It'd be a shame if something.
The hair looks funky, but definitely they look a little bit better.
Fatal error for the one who might try it.
I think. Oh, my screen looks a little bit out of whack. Oof. It's really hard to see down there in the left-hand corner. I'll try to call it out like I was. 60 frames per second. it's holding steady at 60 FPS. So I would expect the ROG Ally with its Z1 Extreme version to do almost identical. Yeah, still 60. Oh, he's gonna beat me up. Chameleon, not Venom, or whatever I call her. That's their character. Oh, she's not doing her thing. Let's see if she does it here. So 28. Whenever it does like these cutscenes, any cutscene, it seems to drop to 30 frames per second. Oh, I thought I had. There we go. But yeah, mostly it's holding 60 frames per second the whole time. So that's a big positive. That is a big positive on. Now it is doing tearing. You can see the screen tearing because I don't have vertical sync on. We can turn that on here. Once we're done with the match, we'll check and see if that will help it do anything. I do like the D-pad on this Xbox controller much better than that 8-bit dough Ultimate controller. There she goes. Finally doing something. She didn't do anything there. Well, she made me turn invisible. That's what she did. Yeah, you can kind of see like the invisibility looks funky. And that's probably because of FSR. Oh, I didn't even try. Yeah, lots of tearing in that. Let's jump out to character select. But let's try and see if we can turn on vertical sync. See if it'll help fix that. But yeah, the Legion Go, it's got just enough power to do what we want. Although not at a clean 1080. It's got to be upscaled to 1080, but much better performance. And if you were to put it at 1280 by 720, you're going to be able to like increase your FSR quality as well. So there's Homelander. Let's go with our same sidekicks. And then what was the one? We were... Actually, let's do the Hanging Gardens. I think that's what it is. I might have chose the Wushu Academy, but it's the Hanging Gardens, I think. So this one's going to maybe match the benchmark a little bit more. Okay, before we start, let's go in. Oh, do I have to... There's no way to... There isn't, is there? No. We got to get out. We got to go out, turn on vertical sync, see if we can get rid of the tearing, see what that does to the game. Because I do hate tearing. I would not want that in my game. I would notice it too often. Okay. All right. Now let's see. Local. And again, the other side of this is when the Legion Go is plugged in, it will try to go over 30 watts of power. So it will actually bump to 35 watts. So it is a little bit more than what it would be on the battery. So on battery, probably not going to get the 60 frames per second like you are on an AC adapter, or, you know, USB-C on a power adapter.
You're not ninjas.
All right, now let's see what we get. 58, still 60, yeah. Yeah, this is good. They've definitely done better with the optimization. Again, not as good as Mortal Kombat 11. Although Mortal Kombat 11 is a Slightly older game. Still, in my opinion, it looks so much better. No, it doesn't have all the fancy stuff, like probably ray tracing, some other items if you were to turn it on high. Oh, there we go. And again here, kind of in the cutscene, we're seeing 30, it drops down to 30 frames. I think that would be no matter on what machine. Oh, we got lucky there. Caught him in midair.
Round 2. Fight.
Alright, Chameleon. Do something. Does he announce? I can't hear it right now because I have my headphones off, but does he announce? I never played, so that's probably the last time I had played Mortal Kombat 1, is even prior to Peacemaker joining. It's been a while. Man. Oh, he won.
Cancel.
Just stay down.
Final round. Fight.
There we go. Oop. Oh. I think he's going to take me down. Go ahead. I'm going to look at the FPS. Yeah, I mean, it definitely stayed at 60. 58 frames was maybe a few times it jumped in. John Cena, yeah.
Peacemaker win.
John Cena. So that's it. I mean, in terms of like the overall like champion of Mortal Kombat 1 here, I guess, it's definitely the Z1 chipset. Right, the Legion Go, the ROG Ally would be the same. That's a huge advantage to have that little extra power, be able to go a little bit more than what you can on the Steam Deck to be able to get that 60 frames per second in matches. Now, online, my guess is it's probably still going to be around 55 frames per second, just given that that's been the experience with the game. Playing online, you lose. Could be Starlink doing that too, but like on my end. But it seems like it's 3-4 frames per second behind playing locally. So we got a chance to take a look at Mortal Kombat. Let's jump into Little Nightmares. Now, Little Nightmares plays without any changes as well. And I think maybe my headset's got enough power now to start wearing it again so I can hear some of it. It's funny, I really don't need a headset, but if I want to hear any of the game or cues or anything like that, it makes it easy. But in terms of like for the stream itself, it's super irrelevant. There we go. It's working. So hopefully audio will start to come through. But Mortal Kombat, it's getting better. Mortal Kombat 11 still plays so much better. I mean, Mortal Kombat 11 plays well on a Steam Deck. Or on a, sorry, on a Nintendo Switch. Is this going to launch? I don't think it's hidden behind anything. Resume game. Maybe it was launching and I got in the way. There we go. You know what? It's probably because it's not the first run. But it's the first run maybe on the OLED, because I think the last time I tested this game was on the LCD version. And it ran great on there, so I mean, obviously, we're probably going to see it run just fine, but let's take a look. Am I hearing it? Yeah, I'm hearing it now. Let me check the audio levels. Okay, looks good. So, settings-wise, we're at 720 because of the direct capture, but I believe it does support 1280 by 800. If we go down here, we should be able to see that. Oh, it may not show. You know what? It may only be 720. It is a who makes this? A Bandai game, and I think they do only support 720 right now. These are probably the settings from the Legion or the Steam Deck LCD. So let's just try it with that. It's basically, what was that? It was pretty much high settings across the board. Now this is kind of like I said, a horror game, but it's not super scary. It's more like horror puzzle. And there's some points where things come at you and it makes you jump, but I mean, like, not super scary. So yeah, high settings, 60 frames, 58, 59 frames per second. This game, I don't really think you need to be at 90 frames per second or 60 frames per second. You would probably get away with like 40, which would save your battery, right? I don't know if you've been watching if any of you have been watching the comparison videos between the LCD and the OLED that I've been putting out. They've become more and more because we're going through and taking a look at how games just perform in general between the two devices. But one thing you'll notice, there are certain games where if given the chance, the OLED will jump to 90 frames per second. The LCD is stuck at 60 because of its screen refresh. And the OLED is actually like burning more of the battery because it's jumping over 60, and it doesn't really need to, but because it's taking more power to do that, right? Like, so limiting it down makes a lot of sense to help with battery consumption. And sometimes it can be, I don't know, dependent, 5 watts. Let's see if we can't get in here. We might not be able to. Sometimes it gives you a little glimpse, but you might not be able to get into it. Nope. Can I take the... Oh, I can't take it. Maybe we gotta go this way first. But yeah, I mean, super playable. Now, do we need this axe? Can we grab it? There we go. Drag it, little person. Yeah, I mean, in terms of like usage, not much. GPU a little bit, but not a ton. Now, how do we, can we swing it? There we go. It's like Jack Nicholson, but a little freaky baghead guy. Kind of looking around like he's gonna kill this creature. I don't know what this is. Quasimodo. Wasn't Quasimodo? Wasn't he the guy that rang the bell? Can we take the axe? Yeah, let's get him. Just dragging this around. I think we gotta... Probably won't be able to drag it up the steps. Nope. Gotta let go. Maybe we can swing it one time. Nope. That was like a thing that we could only do once. Oh, there he goes. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's, I mean, you can kind of see like some of these images are disturbing. Well, I mean, like they want it's not a kid's game necessarily, right? In that sense. We got to get up to that window. But how do we do that? We may have to go back this way. We won't spend too much time on it. Just wanted to kind of show, like, since it's on sale, I believe the game is actually... Well, I know it was on sale with the first one. I'm just trying to see, like, what is it on sale for right now while we're sitting here. Oh, there it is. Little Nightmares. It wasn't a bad deal. Because Little Nightmares 3 is coming down the road, but this one is $9.89, but you can get both of them for $13.89. So Little Nightmares 1 and 2. What was that? Oh, equipped a hat. So we can equip hats. I forgot about that. So we can wear a coonskin hat. It actually goes down over the eyes. Oh, can I grab that? I think so. Maybe not. I thought you could just climb up these. Oh, you can. That's what it is. And then you should be able to, like, leap up. There we go. Okay, where you going, dude? Oh, it's the tag team. We've come to know that we're both in trouble. Here we go. Oh. There it is. Teamwork. Can we pick up the shoe? Oh, yeah. Put that away. So let's go ahead and jump over to the Legion Go. I mean, we can obviously see this game's not going to really change. It's going to be 60 frames per second basically through the entire game. And I think we're fine here. I bet we can push that together. Okay, I'm not sure where the save point is or if we can just save at any point. But let's go ahead and exit to the desktop. We'll jump into the Legion Go and we'll test the game out there. There we go. And because, again, we're not going to use the big picture mode tonight. We'll just tap into it from this point. The enhanced edition. I don't know what the enhanced edition is. Let's try it. We were just using Little Nightmares 2, but let's check out the enhanced edition of it. See if there's any difference. Now, this will run at 1080p on the Legion Go, so should be 60 frames per second, 1080p, no problem. Something is not closed, though. Looks like Mortal Kombat. Why is Mortal Kombat trying to run? Interesting. It shouldn't be. We don't need that. I don't know. I think Mortal Kombat's just stuck. Okay, finally it closed. Okay. All right, Little Nightmares. Anytime. It's slow to start. Well, see, it still says Mortal Kombat is running. What is Steam doing here? I don't blame Steam necessarily. The Legion Go has lots of little quirks to it. Not super problems, but quirks in the way it operates and works and stuff like that. So, okay, there it might be firing up now. There it is. Yep, Bandai Namco. All right, let's jump in and see this again. A little bit higher resolution, 1080p. Everything else is the same. Everything's set to high. So let's go ahead and resume the game and see where we get to here. Now it does say Enhanced Edition. I don't know. What is the Enhanced Edition? Doesn't... It doesn't necessarily say anything. Oh, hey, there we are. We're just chilling. Snoozing. Wow. Well, the fan's running crazy on this thing right now. Yeah, there's definitely an issue here, though. I was trying to see if there was multiple versions of it running. It's still got Mortal Kombat running for some reason, but it's not. Huh. I don't know. I mean, we can always restart. It's not a problem. Yeah, it's definitely having some issue. Let's restart. Let's just restart the whole device. I think there's more at play than just something wrong with the game or the game's performance, stuff like that. It seems like it's being definitely impacted by something else. Trying to run. So I don't want to do an update because that's going to screw things up. Just want to restart. No update for now. I don't mind doing updates, but I don't try to do updates the day of or the day after or anytime in between the show, because sometimes you can just update and like it will completely break. And I've had that happen more than once. Not necessarily doing a stream or something of that nature, but I've had it happen more than once when I was doing anything like working on a project for a company or something like that. Like, yeah, when you're under a deadline or you don't have much time, don't do an update. Just ignore it. Okay, let's restart it. Let alone a lot of these I don't use other than for Steam, so it just starting a game, shutting down a game, starting a game, shutting down a game. That's just a constant thing every day for these machines. They never do anything else. And sometimes, I don't know, they go weeks without being reset. I don't even know the last time I've reset my gaming PC. A couple months back, maybe. Unless it restarts because of updates automatically, but I haven't noticed it. There we go. Now, we're just going to open up Steam. We won't try to run anything else in the background. Like, we won't try to do any kind of other software or chat program or anything like that. We're just going to try to run it straight, right off the Steam desktop client. See if it helps. And sometimes you do get those games that just something's wrong with them on a certain device or certain chipset or certain something. But I'm surprised that Little Nightmares would be that one that would have that issue. Okay, let's go into primary. Little Nightmares 2. Let's go play. And let's not do the enhanced edition. Let's just go with like Little Nightmares 2. Because that's what we were running on the Steam Deck Oled. And it ran at 60. All right. And now this one's got like 144 frames per second right here. In the logo screens. Okay, come on. Oh, my controller needs to restart. Okay. Well, because that's not pairing, let's just use the mouse and keyboard. Same settings, all kind of low. Or, sorry, all high, but 1080p. Okay. This is definitely running much better. We're at 111, 108, 103, 95. Yeah, so this is actually doing much better than the Steam Deck did in terms of like top frames per second. We're pushing. Perfect. You know what? I need the controller. I guess I can just do mouse and keyboard. So we'll just do that. The problem is when I shut the power down on the controller. Oh, come on. Why can't I grab hold? When I shut the power down on the controller, it changed the setting. And now I got to not repair it, but I've got to go in there and just like pick it from a list. And we're already kind of playing, so I'll do that right after we're done. Hey, there's a key. Is this thing going to do something for us? Oh, we can switch character. No, we can't. I'm still the same guy with the raccoon hat. We need a cog. We need a wheel cog. This way. Oh, they want me to... There we go. Oh, great. What is duck? There it is. Hey, there's what we need. Off of the statue of the dead guy. How do I pick it up off him? Oh, my controller finally connected. Didn't it? Nope, it connected. No, it didn't. Where did it connect to? It connected to something. Anyhow, I think we can probably call this one okay because it's still been like well above like 60 frames per second the whole time. And I can't seem to get this device so far. me get that. Maybe I gotta stand on this side. That's it. All right, let's grab this. We'll go over and we'll start the wheel. Whoops. And then we'll be good. It's fall right on your face. Oh, we got to grab this. Oh, no, they're grabbing it. Or maybe I got to help too. Bet I do. Nope. Oh, they're going to give me a ride on this. That's what it is. And I got the key. Okay, cool. And I guess we go back. Jump over here. And where was the key? Was it down here? It was. God. They just dropped completely. Okay, yeah. We can see, I mean, it's pretty steady at 70, 69, 70, 80 frames per second. It's down a little bit, like close to 64s, but the game's running perfectly fine. So I think we can call Little Nightmares 2 just fine here, and we can jump to our next game. So let me exit out. And let's jump to, oh, what else did we have in the voting? I want to say, let's jump to Kingdom Hearts 3. We'll take a quick look at that. Now, this one just came out along with the other Kingdom Hearts 1 and or 2, 1.5 and 2.5, and then like 2.8, something, 365 divided by 2 days or something of that nature. But I think, you know, number 3 is the most recent one. And I think a lot of people are looking for the performance on that. So we'll take a look at that. And then we'll jump to probably Bodycam again, just on the Legion Go. We can't show Bodycam on the Steam Deck. It doesn't run. But I know a lot of people are looking for Bodycam, so we'll take a look at it. But yeah, if you're interested in playing it on your Steam Deck, it's not going to run. Now, not to say it will never run, but the current version does not run unless they patched it today and it just works. I was testing it, trying to play around with it last night. We're going to do some skipping. If you don't know the Kingdom Hearts games, there's a lot of cutscenes. A lot of cutscenes. Lots of story. So we're going to need to bounce past some of that. So let's look at configure. It might be, there we go. So preset low, everything's set to low. Shadows are low, all that stuff. In terms of display, 1280 by 720p. Resolution scale is at 50%. Now you can up that resolution scale. You can do a couple other things, but you're basically going to start taking away from your 60 frames per second performance. This device, oops, let's go down a little bit further. This device can do up to, is it 1600p at 144 hertz? But normally it doesn't do that. Or sorry, this is Steam Deck. Steam Deck cannot do any of that. Steam Deck can only do 1280 by 800 or direct capture 1280 by 720. So, and we don't even have HDR turned on because it causes a problem with the whole stream. It starts to make everything go a little nutty. Here we go again. We should be in Hercules territory. Something like that. That's basically at the beginning of the game. Thievius. But as you can see, I mean, even though brand new game doesn't really have a status or anything like that, we're definitely running at about 59, 60, but that's with that resolution upscaled, right? So it's about 50% resolution. So it's not 100% of 1280 by 720p. It might be 6. What would it be? 600 by 300? 600 by 320? I don't know. Something like that. I can't remember all the numbers. Oh, hitting me right when I'm almost ready to beat them. It's definitely a cute game. There we go. Oh, that's tough. There it is. But yeah, we've been holding 60 even with all of the enemies on the screen at once. Looks just fine. I do believe like cutscenes are less than 60.
Ouch!
Or not locked 60, let's say that. I have the music turned off as well. I don't know if it'll get copy claimed because of Donald's voice or Goofy's voice, but the music's turned off. Otherwise, you'd be hearing like a good soundtrack in the background.
I just got a crazy idea. The shield!
Okay, we can jump on the shield.
Ready? Here goes!
Oh, God, horrible. Super horrible. There it is. Let's see if we can't see just a little bit further up here, and then we'll jump over. I just downloaded it. Now, I had tried it on the Steam Deck already, and it worked fine, like I said, but I hadn't tried it on the Legion Go. So we do need to take a look at that there. But my expectation is going to be fine. I don't think there's a way to... Is there? Yeah, there is a way to switch between, like, enemies to target. Couldn't remember if they had that or not. Okay. For some reason, you can run up walls. There it is. Alright, we can probably jump over to the Legion Go. Again, being that we can see the performance is solid, it hasn't dipped at all, other than cutscenes, which I'm not really worried about cutscenes. Even during special powers, just 1 frame. 59, it's even for just like a half a second, it was like some kind of anomaly. may be this way.
Yeah.
Got stuck. Where's my jump? There it is. Okay, shield. Almost just sat there and ran right over it. But yeah, good performance. Very low usage. Oh, we're back at the save point, so perfect. Let's just jump over. We'll see how the Legion Go does. Now, this one probably, my expectation, you could probably run this at the 2560 by 1600 resolution if you really wanted to. I don't think that you would have much of a challenge getting it to run. So let's see, Kingdom Hearts 3. Let's go with that. I don't think you can speed this up. So we're kind of at the logos devices right now. There we go. Now again, this one going to be a higher resolution. I don't know how, if we can make it, see, the capturing is going to be weird though. I don't think it will be able to go up much, but we're at low with medium textures, low shadows, everything's low. We're at 1080p. If we do want to do so, actually, if we want to do something, here's a test. What we can do is get rid of resolution scaling. Let's put it at 100 and let's see what that does. I guess this would be most people's first time messing with it on PC unless they've been emulating the games on like a PS3 or an Xbox 360 device. As far as I know, they've never been released on PC previous to this. So resolution scale is now at 100%. But you can kind of see like it's stuck in the 35. If you look down on the left-hand corner below where it says commands, there's a little number to the left in the corner. That's our FPS counter from the Steam side. I think that was going to take us up to the save point.
It's into the frying pan and over the fire. Ready?
There it is. I was going to say, where's our shield? We'll go back over here.
Yeah.
Keep wanting to use my sword as the jump button. There we go. I think we just go down here and we fight. Let's do this. Let's go in and change the... Can we configure the settings? I think we can. Yes. Let's go in and change the rendering resolution back down. Or resolution scale. Let's have it go at 75. Let's just see what that does. Okay, now it's got it mostly at 60. What are they doing? They're attacking like just villagers? I think so. Oh, you got more coming. I mean, with that resolution scale, there has been a few slight dips. Not a ton. Why does the pole glow? I can't remember. Is it something? Nope. Okay. Let's go down. Oh, wait. Here's the wall run stuff. There we go. I don't think I have to go this way. No. Oh, there it is. Here's another one. Let's try jumping on it. Oh, I forgot. That's their special ability. If you're not close enough to when you get the command. Alright. Oh, can we get in there? What is that little character? Oh, I kicked him off. Okay, now... I don't think you can take him with you or anything like that. No. Nope. Just unlock this. We'll see what's around the bend, and then we'll call it good. Because now, I mean, we're definitely at a good... resolution and all of that. I think it's, well, I mean, it could always be better. We could probably go one more time and we could drop resolution scale to 50 and then go in and increase the preset to, I want to say high. Now what's that get me? Still 60 frames per second here.
Ready? Here goes. Oh. Gosh.
Okay. Yep, we were through here, so I think we're just going in circles. We got to go straight.
Ready? Here goes. Oh.
Or we got to go to the right. Get right. There we go. Oh, not in the fire. We were close.
Gorge, I hope they got insurance.
If there's anybody else stuck out here, we better find them fast.
Yeah, still hitting the 60, and this is now on ultra. So, looks pretty good. I like it. Okay, let's jump to our next game. After this cutscene, we'll take a look at that really fast. So it's like 60 frames
Where did all these
cutscene.
monsters come from? Hercules!
I do believe at low, with this resolution,
Oh,
you know,
no.
scale,
Help
you could
is on
do
the way.
2560 by what, 1600.
We'll put these hotheads
So
out.
max the resolution out
Hang on up
and still
there.
get 60.
Huh? Who are you three? Where is Hercules?
Donald Duck. Okay, let's go ahead. I think we've got it. Yeah, we don't have a place to save, so let's go ahead and just end this. Is it gonna let me do it? Why is it bringing up my Steam menu? Oh, because I'm not in the big picture mode, that's why. That is why. Like, why isn't that working? Okay, let's jump to... We've got 2 more games to go through. And I've got to remember them. What was it? We've done Mortal Kombat, Little Nightmares 2. We've got SCHIM to go over, but that's not till the end. We've got Bodycam, which we may do now. Just kind of go with Bodycam. And then I can't think of it off the top of my head. It was the one that just ran yesterday that I didn't pay attention. I mean, I know what I put up, but I can't remember which one won. So that was, I'm looking at my archive here. Venatrix. So we still have Venatrix. So let's do Bodycam while we're here on the Legion Go. And then we'll do Venatrix on the Steam Deck and the Legion Go. And then SCHIM. But yeah, we're more than halfway through then. So let's hope that it launches on here. I'm not 100% certain. It is a Windows-based game. It should run on a Windows-based machine. It doesn't support the Steam Deck at all right now. And when you try to run it, it brings up looks like a Windows Explorer folder view. I don't know. It's really weird. You wouldn't expect that from Linux. Okay. I don't think this is going to run well. I do not believe this to run well. This is supposedly a super impressive game. Oh, wow. I don't think it even supports controller. It does not. You got to use mouse and keyboard. Okay. It kind of feels like a scam. I'll be honest. It feels like they're up to no good. I don't know why. Created by two brothers. I'm not saying they did. But when games open up like a whole nother window and throw you into like your browser, it seems like a scam. I don't think they should be doing that. Let's take a look at settings. I don't know why I'm getting feedback now. I think there's a mic open in the game. I'm going to try to find that. Voice chat. Primary voice chat. Let's cut mic input gain. I don't think there's a way to stop voice chat. I think you're always chatting. Proximity voice. Yeah, it has my mic hot. I don't know how that works. That's why we're getting an echo. SFX, user interface. Copyright music, yeah, get rid of that. Weather's fine, guns are fine, sound effects are fine. UI's okay. Test. Yeah, I still hear myself. Of course, HDR's off. We will put it on. Let's put it on full screen. 1080p. Display resolution. 4:3, 16:9, 16. Okay, interesting. Any. Let's go 16:9. Aspect ratio. I don't know. Let's just go with that. Brightness, no, we're good. Locked FPS. I want to see what it'll do without messing with the FPS. HDR's off. And that's about it? Oh, maybe graphics. Let's go into the graphics side. Oh, they do have FSR 3. So let's put that on ultra performance. It does have frame generation. So let's turn that on. Here's where I think it's going to be a problem, but let's have it all the way on Epic. I know it's kind of silly with or with FSR on and all that stuff, but no, let's not have that. Motion blur, let's turn motion blur all the way off. Okay. Let's see what it's going to do. Let's benchmark. Don't have a lot of... I don't know. It's not running the benchmark. I don't know why it's not. Okay, let's go back. It's doing something weird. I don't think you guys are getting the echo. I think it's just on my end. How about this? Do we have any other options? Lobbies, rank, locker. So you're always playing online. That's not going to be good for a portable device. It's just not. "13 frames per second." So this is on Epic. So we're probably going to have to drop that down. Yeah. Let's see if we can't just... I hate that it's always online because this person's going to have to deal with... Let's try graphics. I'll just turn everything down to low. What is that? All right, there's everything to low. And we get to 20 frames per second. Is that true? Yeah. It's definitely not built for this type of device. Being online all the time, it's kind of like Diablo, makes it rough. And the best you can get with frame generation on it is 20 frames per second. Oh, no wonder it's loud. It's a shooting gallery. Let's see, we'll run down here. It wouldn't even... on the Steam Deck? I don't know. My guess would be... Oh, here's an obstacle course. Okay. Jump. Okay. Crouch. I guess the other thing we could try is like just dropping it down to 720 by 1280 by 720, but it wouldn't give us anything. It wouldn't even get us to 30 frames per second. So I wouldn't want to do that because it's going to screw up the streaming PC. And we got booted back here. It's probably somebody who was starting a game. And we were being problematic. But yeah, I mean... Not even hitting 30 frames per second on the menu. But in the game, at least there, we weren't doing anything. We were like 20. Switch team. Join server. Let me do a host. Let's see if I can host. We'll do the Russian building. Right. Maybe it'll let us jump ahead. Now again, we have everything on low with FSR 3 on and frame generation. I'm gonna look and oh wow. This is, I mean, that's really impressive right there. That's like, I was thinking, oh, this is just a cutscene. 16, 18 frames per second. I'm going to try this on my 4090. I'm curious. I mean, on low, you can definitely tell it's not the same game. You know, it's not the same level as the quality they showed. I just want to see. Let's do one change again. Let's go back in and change the graphics to high. Epic. I'm just curious now, since we're only getting like 18 frames per second, what it'll get if you put everything on Epic. 1 frame per second. Post-processing grain. Yeah, we don't need that. We'll leave that on. Upscale quality is high. Oh, it took off FSR 3. Let's turn that back on, and frame generation. Maybe it turned that off by accident. Okay, 6 frames per. Okay, well, wait. Now we're getting somewhere. 30. Ooh, FSR makes it look horrible, though. Oh my god. Look at that. Like it's like a fence or something. I mean, FSR just can't do anything. The only way you could play it is with it on. I don't even know if you can play. I'm sure you would play it with FSR on at some point, some level. But probably more towards like quality. Somebody's got a drone. Oops. There we go. So, with everything on Epic and FSR on quality with frame generation on, we're getting 28 frames per second. I'll follow this guy. I don't know if I've got a bomb connected to me or what. Can't get over. End around, okay. Yeah, let's try. Okay, now maybe what happened. Sorry, player. I'm doing some testing. Let's drop let's leave FSR on. Drop everything down to low. With frame generation. It's not going to look as good, but maybe it'll be playable. And we do have FSR on, yep. Uh, 38 frames. 40. Oh, I didn't even get a chance to go. I guess they were tired. I think the man back on me. I think he did. Oh, I get to be a drone now. How do we go up and down? Descend. Do that. Crashed. Okay, let's see what it looks like this time. 38 frames per second. $38, $37, $36, $33, I mean, if this is all you had to play it, and you really wanted to play this game, it doesn't look bad. It's rough watching it at 30-some frames per second. Yeah. Okay. I think that kind of gives us an idea. I mean, if you had to, it'd be playable. But playable is maybe a tough word to say. I would probably say a full gaming rig would be the better way to go. Yeah. Okay, cool. We got a chance to see it. We'll see. Maybe they'll get it running on Steam Deck. All right, I'm going to jump out. If we can jump out. Yes, kick. All right. There we go. Okay, so that was Bodycam. Running on the Legion Go. Definitely maxing it out. If you did everything, if you turned everything to low, and you had FSR3 running at quality, I will give it quality, and you had frame generation on, you're able to get like 30 frames per second consistently. A little bit tough for some people to play it, probably less than desirable, but it worked. Let's go to our last game, and we'll do that on the Steam Deck. And this is going to be Venatrix. And let me find the controller. Now, Venatrix, as we talked about earlier, is kind of a survival. It's a horror game. I wouldn't call it survival horror. It's supposedly a horror game or a scarier game, but it's kind of more along the lines of Sherlock Holmes rather than Resident Evil or Outlast or something like that, right? But let's go in. I don't think there's anything special you have to do to run it. I think compatibility is just leave it to the Steam Deck and it'll be able to run it. But frame rate is a different story. So we are going to have to take a look at some of the settings from what I remember. Yeah, it's unfortunate that Steam Deck can't run Bodycam. It'd been interesting to see like what it could have. I'd probably guess that it would have got the same thing around 1280. Now, if you were to turn the Legion Go down to 720, you were able to put it on like ultra performance FSR3 with frame generation, like I said, everything to low. Maybe 50 frames per second is possible. I don't think you would get 60, but maybe 50 frames per second. Okay, let's switch. I'm going to use mouse and keyboard just for a second because I think this game, it does support controller, but it doesn't have like full control right now. So you have to use the touchscreen because we're playing with it docked. I'm going to use mouse and keyboard. I've got everything set to very low, 1280 by 720. So let's go ahead and... Is that everything? Yeah, that's everything. Let's go in and start a new game. So this is the last voted on game for the week. And then we'll take a look quickly at SCHIM. I can't see your picture, and don't brag. It's too small. Let me see if I can see it any better over here. Whatever you'd sent.
Nothing but dull. A lackluster and drab place.
Let's see.
Structures and threads of which, like reality itself, I found mind-numbingly boring. As a result, in my
I
youth,
can't even see it on there.
buried myself in literature.
Yeah, for some reason it's just super small
My hands on.
in the chat.
I became very interested in metaphysics in particular. There's something about
I think it's one of your emotes over on Twitch.
that's always gripped me in
Um,
as I grew up.
let me
I could see a
think here
major
with
shift in
this.
society. I could see how things were changing, but I couldn't describe what was happening.
I don't think there's anything else that we have to
Something
do.
bigger, something cosmic. It was shaping everything as we knew it. It was forcing its way into changing.
Just going to do the skip. There we go. So I am using the controller now. You can see with everything set to very low. No mouth movement, nothing like that. This is like a very, while it looks good, I mean, if you play it on a 4090, the textures, like the jacket textures, all the textures, everything looks really good. The lighting and all of that reflects very well, like at super high settings. There's like limitations to what the game, you know, can truly, the developers can truly do, and budgets and all that, you know, for lip syncing and everything, and you know, you have to give up somewhere. Oh, that was rough, that corner. But it does have story. You can tell by the texture, even, or the fonts and all of that. Meet Mr. Hartford. I think we gotta go upstairs. The fonts are like the basic fonts that you could get out of like a, I would guess, Unity editor or whatever they built it in. I don't even know if it was Unity. It reminds me kind of the walking. It's actually pretty good. It's not as bad as like the Skyrim walking or the Oblivion walking or whenever you were in third person, Fallout walking, Fallout 3 walking. One of these doors, I believe. Oh, here it is.
Welcome, Mr.
Yeah, like
Cole.
that's as generic font that you can get.
As I explained to you in our previous
Lots of cutscenes.
correspondence, the issue is with my beloved wife, Della. She is sick and will not consider any form of treatment. She has refused therapy on many occasions.
We'll see if we can't find like a save point where we can jump in so we don't have to keep looking at just the same thing each time.
As you are aware, she sees ghosts, Mr. Kolth, storming the rooms of this very house and running havoc through the hallways. I am a skeptic, Mr.
I can't
Kolth.
skip it either, or I would.
As I have said to you before, I believe in these demons about as much as I believe that I won't have to pay my tax this year. But my wife, she sees apparitions and believes them to be true. She believes they reside in the basement, and there is not even a basement to this house. But I love her, you see. She is my entire world, Mr. Kolth.
I mean, but
And I hoped that in bringing
like I
you
said,
here
it's got story.
and
It's
showing her
got
that there's nothing, that maybe
it's got
we may move
a
on
good
together in
design
peace.
to it. I mean, there was definitely like an area where you could say like, oh, okay, this could
It
be
is the
really cool.
master key to the house. Please.
I guess it's reminiscent of like Call of,
You will
is it
find
Call
her
of
in the
the Sinking
library, by the
City?
piano, perhaps.
That is probably closer than the Sherlock Holmes games. The Sinking City is probably the closer of those comparisons. Okay. Let's kind of take a walk over this way. Do I have a flashlight? I do. There we go. Now it's off. That green was really bothersome. Still, though, frame rate is kind of rough. Right? And there's no limits on it or anything like that. It's just what the Steam Deck can do with it at 720p. Let's see. Is this where we can save? No, this is no. Yeah, even more like, you know, notes, things like that that you're picking up. Watch, it'll be like the bathroom that you can save in. I forget. Too many games. Was it the fireplaces? Might have been the fireplaces. No. There was a game just recently I was playing. There was the fireplace that you saved at. I think it opened up even downstairs, so we can kind of walk around. I mean, it's a fairly intricate building that they have here. And again, well designed, lots of stuff to look at. And like I said, even on a higher, bigger PC with higher resolution, with higher, graphic settings and all that, it looks quite impressive. Okay, that was open. It's this way that we can go. Oh, there she is.
It's you. So, he must know. Why did you come here? Get away. Please, just leave me alone. He knows that I've been trying to contact
Now, it is a Cthulhu-esque type game as well. So it does have something to do with that universe.
and vowed to kill anyone if I told them what was going on in this house.
Or Lovecraftian-esque.
Most probably he'll kill you anyway and put the blame on me. You shouldn't be here. Do you hear me? Go and talk to the maid, Daisy, if you don't believe me. She must be in the kitchen. In the meantime, please bear with me while I practice my piano skills.
Our next directive. Now, for full transparency, the developer did send this game to me. And it is available on the Switch as well, funny enough. I don't know what it runs like on the Switch. I would have to imagine it runs 30 frames per second.
Far too much tragedy in this household already, sir. As more loved ones are lost, more strangers are invited here. I can
It's just so interesting without like lip syncs.
I'm sorry, but I don't want to
Not interesting in a good way, right? In that sense. It just seems out of place. But what we can do is turn up the graphics as well. Although it's going to kill the frame rate, it'll maybe give us a little bit of an idea of like the look. It just keeps moving you to the next room. Okay, let's do this. Let's go in. Yeah, see here you can use a controller to do it, but you're kind of running a mouse to make any changes. So let's go. Is it going to let me change this? I think it will. Low, high, ultra. Okay, ultra is the top. This will just kill the frame rate, but let's just take a look. If it doesn't crash the machine, let's see. Oh, I didn't want the sound. Back to the game. Okay. Yeah, so now we're at like 13 frames per second. It can't even do it. Like areas are just disappearing. It gets like super reflective in certain areas. See his light. Yeah, let's jump to the Legion Go. Take a look at it. Again, the performance is less than good on the Steam Deck. And you're not going to get too much more out of the Legion Go, even though it's got more. Ultimately, still going to have the same issue. So let's jump over here. And let's go ahead and select Venatrix. Let's give it a shot on the Legion Go. And then that'll be we'll be done with all of the voted on games. And we'll take a quick look at SCHIM as we kind of close out the live stream, podcast, whatever we call it here. I call it a live stream, but it's listed as a podcast. It's not recognizing my controller. How loud is the music here? It's pretty loud. Let me turn that down a little bit. There we go. And I'm going to use mouse and keyboard because it's for whatever reason it's not seeing the controller on this version. Graphics. So it's got everything set to high. Let's just go very low on everything. And I guess we'll do 1280 by 720. So below like what we have been doing games. We were normally doing them at 1080p. So we're going to have it a little bit lower than that this time. And let's give it a shot. Oh, I'm probably going to have to resize our screen as well. Give me 1 sec. Since it's running at 1280 by 720, it's going to be outside of the range of what it can normally do. Properties, 1280 by 720. There we go. And I just need to resize the window. There. Good. And I think we can go ahead. So now we're going to be playing less resolution, lowest settings. It might not perform too bad on the Legion Go. Saying 50s. Let's see if we can't skip through this here.
My name is Matthew Colt.
There we go. Okay, yeah, much better. 45, 30s. Oh, still no mouth sinking.
I must apologize for the mess. Please take care and watch your step.
The first thing we get locked into is a conversation. Okay. Yeah, much better performance on the Legion Go at 1280 by 720. So we're at 45 frames per second, but this is it. This is the Legion Go plugged in, full power, lowest settings, and we're getting 40, 45 frames per second. Excuse me. Do we have our... Nope, our light's not on. We're going to get stuck in another convo here with this guy.
Mr. Kolth, I hope you
There's no way to
As I explained
skip it.
to you in our previous correspondence,
Yeah.
the issue is with my beloved wife.
We'll have to talk to him just one time, then we'll go downstairs. We'll look around the house. We won't talk to anybody else.
Will not consider any
And we'll see if we can get a better idea.
has
But
refused
yeah, I mean, it's definitely better.
will not even entertain.
We couldn't even get 24 frames per second
As you are aware,
on the Legion or on the Steam Deck with very low settings.
rooms of this very house and running havoc through the hallways. I am a skeptic, Mr. Kolth. As I have said to you before, I believe in these
Outside of tonight's games, or out of the games of tonight, Mortal Kombat was the most surprising because it actually did run 60 frames per second on the Legion Go,
she believes they
which it hadn't done that. And then probably the best performing game,
house. But I love her, you see.
I don't know, it's a toss-up between, I'd think Little Nightmares too, but
Hoped that in bringing
for a brand new game,
and showing
uh,
there is nothing
Kingdom Hearts
that maybe we may move
3 did very well, ran very well.
You will need this.
It ran 60 frames per second.
Key to the house.
Actually, I'd probably say it was probably the best optimized game.
Della. You will
being that it was brand new, they haven't even had a week's worth of information to, make any kind of tweaks or patches to update optimization and all of that stuff. Yeah. I mean, it's not amazing, but like I said, if you lock this to 30 frames per second, it would be extremely playable. Now, whether or not the game is very playable and the story is super interesting, I think we would have to dive into it deeper. I bet this is probably about the level that the Switch is running it at. I wouldn't think that they would be able to launch it with any less than 30 frames per second. I don't think people would put up with it. Oh, I think we can switch between, that's Della, but I don't think we have her yet. You do have two characters, I believe, you can play, kind of like in Alone in the Dark or Resident Evil 2 or something like that. How do I back out of this? Back to game, maybe. Nope. It's kind of got me locked into whatever this is. Okay, let's call this good. Again, runs definitely better on the Legion Go, but you have to drop it all the way down to the lowest resolution and have everything on performance. It would kill the battery. We could say that. Like maybe an hour is what you'd get out of it. Okay. Instead of changing that, let's take a look at SCHIM, which is the game that I picked. And we will do that on the Steam Deck. And like I said, SCHIM was the game that I ran into at GDC. Talked to the developer. This is the playtest. They sent me the playtest a while ago. I believe, let's just do this. I believe they do have, you can at least wish list the game. And I would, if you're interested in this game at all, I would just say, hey, go into Steam, wish list it, and check out the demo, right? That helps the developer out. You can't purchase the game. I think they don't ever release until July. So you can download the demo. It's probably going to be very similar to the playtest here in terms of performance. But let's take a look at the playtest. Didn't have to do anything special for the game. Game just runs. And I'm curious if they did go in and do some optimization, because it does play very well. So we'll take a look at the settings. There's nothing that we need to change or anything like that. You can change your line thicknesses. So we'll do 2 just to really make it stand out. But yeah, that's basically it. Nothing else. And you're essentially this creature that lives within shadows. So let me just start here at the beginning. And the guy that you're living in his shadow, like, falls and you get knocked out. So that's kind of the beginning premises. And you got to jump. You can only be around shadows. So you got to kind of jump from shadow to shadow. And you're trying to get back to your owner or your guy. So it's kind of like a little platformer. In that way. I don't know how exactly they put it. But it's essentially a platformer. Puzzle platformer. Let's say that. Let me just look really fast. Is that how he says this? Let's see. SCHIM. .3D 3D platformer, but it's kind of like a puzzle, but you got to find the right way to go. So like we kind of need to jump in this guy's shadow here but we actually want to go this way. And we can take one hop, and if we miss a shadow, otherwise it's going to make you jump and go back. So we're chasing our owner again. You can see his shadow looks weird. And now we got to kind of work our way around. Now we got to change our perspective, and now we start jumping. And we can catch rides with things like there's cars that go by, so you can jump into the shadow of the car, and the car will go by, and it'll go down the street, and then you can jump out. And then you gotta work your way over. So we gotta go this way. I guess this is another creature that's the shadows are all alive. So you're just kind of hanging out on their owners. Oh, I can't make that jump. There we go. I don't see eyes here, though. I see his eyes, but I don't see any other eyes. Let's change perspectives again. Oh, we gotta go this way. Catch a ride here, jump to this person, jump to here. Now, obviously, I don't think people see me. Oh, of course, Snippy Snoop. You're welcome. Thank you for watching them. I'm glad they help, or they're enjoyable, or they give you some kind of feedback. Oh, that guy was ringing the bell over here, so I knew where to go. We're still after our guy. Wherever he went to, I don't know if we'll ever find him again, but seems like we're almost going the same direction. Nope, we gotta go this way. And you're kind of, once you've made the jump, you're locked in. You can't do anything until you jump back out. We'll catch a ride here. There's our guy. We're still after him. Snippy Snoop, do you have a Steam Deck, or do you have a ROG Ally, Legion Go, or do you just play Steam games? Oh, there we go. I don't know which way the guy went. We'll go this way. Maybe he went down here. Oh, made it. I think we need somebody to walk across the bridge. Yep, the runner. We'll jump in the runner's shadow and catch a ride. Oh! Nope, come back here. Am I from the No, I'm from Seattle. So the US. Oh, lady. Okay, I died. Well, you don't die in the game. You just don't have... Oh, I can't catch him. You just kind of lose, like, where you were. I'm going to try to catch her when she comes around this side. Maybe. I'll jump into this shadow. Maybe I can catch them when they're making their turn. Oh, I jumped in the water. Where are you based at, Snippy? Oh. Okay, there we go. Let's see. Let me jump in. Okay, now we caught on. We're going to make our way around. Now we're in the tree. Like I said, we get a little bit more... Oh, I found something. A school bag. Oh, you're in Canada. Oh, very nice. Not too far away. Vancouver, or are you over in Toronto area? I may need to catch somebody running that way, too. Oh, yeah, there's a guy running. Nope, he's going the wrong way. Well, oh, it's not that late. It's only 9:30 here. Maybe we have to go with this guy. Maybe he's the one that we need to catch the run with. Oh, he went through another shadow and I'm getting stuck. Oh, I missed it. So there is some challenge to it. You got to be able to catch like certain shadows. And you got to be able to stay in the shadow even when they go through another shadow where you could get dropped off. Oh, I think I got transferred to the woman. Oh. Yeah, turning the camera around would help. I forget that you have to manage that. Okay, let's go over here. Let's try to stay out of the way. Oh, I got knocked out again. I think that's... Maybe I can't go that way. I think I kind of want to go that way. Try going over here. But maybe it's trying to stop me from doing that. Oh, you can even jump into shadows on the water. I think this is going to be tough. Oh, look, I'm in a duck shadow. Oh, you must be on the east coast of Canada. You must be like Nova Scotia. Well, no, you could be like east coast, like Toronto or Montreal. There we go. I'll just kind of cruise around on a duck. But yeah, this game... Like I said, the game doesn't launch until July. The developer and I had a conversation at GDC. We were talking about, like, just in general how well their game was coming along. You know, I had asked them the question of like, well, do you even consider Steam Deck when you are developing your game? And they're like, no, that's not something that we have time for, kind of thing. But obviously, it's running great. I mean, it's running at 60 frames per second. It's not a very intensive game, but like it's got 15 to 20% of the CPU usage and 25 to 30% of the GPU usage. So very little RAM, video RAM. I mean, everything is super low on this. So that's just a benefit of like an indie game. It doesn't always have to be Bodycam, right? If Bodycam, it's considered an indie game. Oh, next to Montreal. Very nice. I love Montreal. I used to go up there all the time. I had meetings with, who was it? Rogers Communication and Ubisoft up there before. A lot. When I was working with both. I think Gameloft is there as well. Maybe it's just Ubisoft. Oh, I'm now in the little duck shadow. I don't know where to go at this point. We'd have to play a little bit longer. Oops. See if we go this way. Oh, see, there's another pair of eyes. But they don't do anything. Like, I can jump in their shadow, but we have no connection. Have you completely played any hard games on the Steam Deck? What type are you talking about, like Dark Souls or something of that level? Like where it's like precision and like Cyberpunk. Oh, okay. I haven't played through Cyberpunk 100% on it. I have played it on it recently, and you know, you're definitely looking at probably 30 frames is the best play. But I think it can be locked at 40 now with some of the updates they've done. And it gives pretty good performance. I mean, in terms of a brand new game, I played all the way through Alone in the Dark. And I would jump back and forth between playing segments on the gaming rig that I have and then the Steam Deck. So, like, I would play one area chapter all the way through on the 4090, and then I would kind of turn around and play the entire chapter all the way through on the Steam Deck. The same one, like replay it. So I don't know if that's the same quality or level you're talking about. Other games I played all the way through on Steam Deck. I got a good ways through Elden Ring on it, but not 100%. And that wasn't at 60 frames per second. I know there's more than that. I just can't think of the games I've completed. Skyrim? and not the new version. No, I call it the new version, not the version that they've just put out with the, where you don't have the settings screen anymore, like the launcher ahead of it. They kind of got rid of that. Oh, I found a bike in the water. Oh, okay, now I get it. The other set of eyes jumped over that, so maybe you're finding new shadows where they can get to? I don't know. Yeah, well, I started playing Souls-like games on the PS3, so I kind of got used to it. It doesn't bother me. Like, I can play it. But I'd rather play it at like 60 frames or higher, right? Obviously. We just did Dark Souls 3 a show or two ago. We were getting like 50s. So it wasn't locked 60, but it was pretty good for the Steam Deck. Pretty close to 60, like 55, something like that. But yeah, it obviously isn't optimal, that's for sure. All right, let's get out of here. But that is probably the end of the live stream for tonight. I am a little tired. Snippy probably has asked earlier, why am I not asleep? I am a little bit tired, even though it's not too late. But for me, I am kind of done for the day. I appreciate everybody that showed up. If you haven't already, definitely click the subscribe, come back, check out the channel. There's 1,000 videos on the Steam Deck and of different games on the Steam Deck and the Lenovo Legion Go and the ROG Ally. There's long game playthroughs. There's a whole bunch of stuff. And if you do subscribe, you'll get notified that you can come vote every Monday through Friday. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. There's a poll that goes up, 4 games each day. The one that wins the most votes gets moved to the Saturday show, and then we go through those like we did today, so you can definitely check it out. It's open to vote for everybody, though. You don't have to be subscribed. You can just kind of vote and see what games you want to check out on the channel live, direct capture. So appreciate everybody for taking the time to watch. Man, don't brag. Appreciate you being here, Snippy Snoop, as well as everybody else had stopped previously and jumped in, said hello. Appreciate everybody for hanging out. If you want to check out any of the games below, I will have all the links updated. I didn't get a chance to do that before the show, but I will go through and update them now. But again, most of these games you can just find right on Steam if you just type in the name. Oh, thank you, Snippy Snoop. Greatly appreciate it. Hope you come back. And like I said, if there's any games you want to see, just drop them in any of the comments. I go through, check for those, and then just vote every day if you want. See what games get shown here on the show. But appreciate everybody for stopping in. Have yourself a great rest of your weekend. And guess what? I'm making a prediction. I think it's already out there. But the Thursday, it should be Thursday, this coming Thursday, the Steam Summer Sale starts at 10 a.m. So you're going to see a ton of sales. And the channel's going to see exponential views. It always happens. Every Steam sale, the channel doubles and triples and quadruples in views. So I'll probably be throwing out some more videos, stuff like that, just because we'll have new viewers and stuff like that we can definitely try to, I'll try to impress and, make sure they jump in and make votes and come and stop by the show. But appreciate everybody. Thank you so much. Happy Father's Day. Yes. Happy Father's Day. Man, don't brag. Appreciate everybody, and enjoy your day off tomorrow if you're lucky to have that. And we'll talk next Saturday for sure. But, obviously I jump in comments as quickly as I can, usually at the end of the day, and try to answer questions and just chit chat and make comments of my own. So appreciate it. Thanks again, folks. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.